Okay, so I ended up coming across this video suggested to me by YouTube, and I am looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that whoever made this video, like, I mean, I don't want to say no way, but I mean, it's highly unlikely that whoever made this video has actually experienced these extremes. And I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see what they have to say. So let's just go ahead and blind react to this shit. I'm feeling frisky.
Homeless? You wake up before dawn because the street gets loud as the city stirs. Your body is stiff from sleeping on concrete, a bench, or a shelter mat. You check your few belongings to make sure nothing went missing in the night. If you have a phone, it's old, cracked, and low on battery. Wi-Fi is a hunt. Charging is a
Wow, okay, so, I mean, kind of, but uh, you should be taking the necessary precautions to like know if someone's messing with you in the middle of the night with your stuff. So the whole like waking up in the morning and making sure that everything is there and that nothing is missing is kind of true, but also kind of your fault. The idea that your phone is old and cracked and dead that's just not true at all. I'm still on my old iPhone 12. It's been dropped a couple times. The only thing that's actually broken on it though was one of the camera lenses on the back, and it's definitely like never on the head.
hunt. Your first goal is a bathroom and water. You aim for a fast food place,
Sure.
gas station, or public park, hoping staff will not turn you away. If there's a
So you could also just like have money to actually buy those things. So like if I was really desperate, I guess I could go to McDonald's already at 5 o'clock in the morning, but it's usually not really that serious. And a lot of places, especially here in Hawaii, they don't have bathrooms anyway, public or otherwise. Like even if you're a customer, especially the gas stations, definitely don't. The park bathrooms don't even open until 6:30 or 7 a.m. By the time that rolls around, you can get into the government buildings and yeah, so I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, so far so good. All right.
shelter, the bathroom is crowded and quick. You wipe down with a damp cloth. Clean clothes are rare. Laundry means a church day, a drop-in center, or hand washing in a sink. Food is next. You scan for a church breakfast, a soup kitchen, or use a few dollars for a dollar menu item. If you have SNAP, you can buy groceries, but you can't cook much. You eat what you can carry. Hunger never feels far away. You plan your day around safety, weather, and places that won't push you out. The library is gold, warmth, outlets, a chair, a
Oh my
chance to look
God.
for data.
It's because the building is so old. So the Hawaii State Library downtown was built in, gosh, the early 1910s, like 1917, same time as like the Sheraton or the Royal Hawaiian Hotel and Tripler Medical Hospital that were built in I think 1917. So like a lot of these old buildings, they have a lot of problems. So between the dampness and the mold and everything in the library, they keep that bitch at like 65 fucking degrees. It is so cold in there. It is like borderline unbearable. So warm. Okay, but yeah, outlets, chair, like day labor chance. I don't know. We don't have any of that stuff here either, I guess. So, but anyway, but yeah, I mean, go there, use the internet, and do the stuff online, like doing surveys and playing games.
labor, or services. You watch your bag the whole time. If you panhandle, you choose a
I
corner with
don't.
foot
I
traffic and
couldn't
avoid
possibly
conflict.
care
Small
less.
bills add
Anything
up
of
slowly.
value
Some
sits in
days,
my
nothing
pockets.
comes. Paperwork is a wall. No ID means no job, no shelter intake, no benefits. Getting ID takes
That's really interesting that they're equating being homeless with necessarily not having your documents. That's really funny. That's something that I will definitely touch on at a later date or time. I might just append this to the other video that I'm currently working on, but that's a long game. So we'll see if I change my mind about how long I want to put that on.
time, fees, and an address you don't have. Healthcare is
That
urgent
is
care
true.
or a clinic visit you wait hours for. Meds are hard to keep safe. Sleep is hard to get. By evening, you choose where to bed down. A shelter has rules and lines. The street has noise and risk. You tuck valuables into your clothing and sleep lightly. Morning will come early and you will start again with water.
Sleep lightly, bro. I've had some of the deepest sleep and the craziest dreams sleeping. But then again, I digress. But as far as shelters, usually a lot of shelters, it's kind of it's like a pseudo permanent placement. If there's not, at least here, they're not first come, first serve on Oahu. The one on Hawaii definitely is. It only has 19 beds. So that was always like, why even try kind of a thing. But out here, yeah, there's definitely, like, I don't think there's even enough shelter beds for 10% of the homeless population on Oahu. So most people sleep rough. And at this point in time of the year, with all of the people who want to come here to snowbird from the mainland, things start getting really tough and interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily wrong, but we have our spots. Like that's what it said. Like it gets really interesting. It always makes me think. Like one of my favorite movies is The People Under the Stairs, and there's that scene. This isn't really a spoiler about the movie. There's a scene where they're in the house and the people come home and they need to hide, and Leroy hides in the closet, and Fool tries to get in with him. And he's like, "No room, find your own," and like shoves him down the hallway, right? And then Fool doesn't end up being able to find a spot to hide before they end up locking all the doors shut in the house, and he's just like in the hallway, vulnerable. Anyway, it's very much kind of like that, right? It's no room finds your own. I know if I were to get back to most of us that stay where I stay, we stayed there for a while, like a year. We all know each other, and we recognize when people are amiss. And every once in a while, because I have a tendency to get back late, like some of the guys, they'll just sit in my spot, and when they see me coming, they get up and move, and things like that. So I've definitely just like seen someone I didn't recognize in my spot and just like tapped him on the foot and was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Food, and a plan to get through one more day. Deep poverty. You wake up in a small room you rent week to week, or a crowded apartment you share to split costs. The mattress is on the floor. Some nights the heat or AC doesn't work. You check your prepaid phone to see if service is still on. You count the bus passes left in your wallet. You plan the day around money. Breakfast is basic: oatmeal, eggs, toast. You stretch groceries with coupons, SNAP, and food pantry days marked on a calendar. If you have kids, they eat school breakfast and lunch. You pack snacks from home because every dollar matters. Getting to work takes time. You wait.
Toca la pantalla y descarga Baita Mahjong ahora mismo.
A bus that comes late, or you drive an old car with a check engine light you ignore. Your hours change week to week.
Check engine is usually ignition and emissions. It means like one of your spark plugs is going out or something like that. Anyway, random fact. But this is definitely written with a particular spot in mind. So meaning like jurisdiction. All these different cities and things like do a lot of this stuff differently depending. So like it's funny to me that I feel like unless I glazed over it or something or blinked and missed it, but he didn't even mention going to food banks for the homeless people, which is kind of strange because like if you're, but he talked about the SNAP, definitely frame that as though homeless people are like completely broke and have no way of getting money other than like some kind of day laboring. Like there's picking up cans. I know like a lot of the reason why Honolulu is as clean as it is because of the homeless people going around and picking up all of their recycling and things. But then again, because we have the 5 cents per can return, and there's a return that's open every day, like regular hours, right in like the main part of downtown, so it's also easy to get to. But it was weird that it seemed very much framed around like if you're homeless, you're just absolutely fucked. You have no ID, you have no way of getting one, you don't have any money, you don't even go to food banks. I don't know. It was a little bit overly harsh. In a lot of ways, yeah, it's wretched, but it's not as bad as they kind of made it sound. But then again, like, what would you have left for deep poverty? The only thing that's really different is like, okay, so maybe you share a cheap roach-infested apartment with 5 other people. So there wouldn't be a category to talk about here.
Some days you get called in, some days you don't. You say yes to extra shifts, day labor, or gigs because you can't risk saying no. Tips and overtime keep the lights on. Bills are a puzzle you do every month. Rent is due, but the electric bill is behind. You choose which fee hurts less. You buy a money order because you avoid bank overdrafts. Paperwork never ends. Healthcare is a clinic visit you schedule weeks out, or urgent care when pain won't wait. You have Medicaid or a discount plan, but time off work is unpaid.
I
You
still
put
with the
off dental
homeless
work.
people.
You refill one prescription now, another next week. Laundry takes quarters at the laundromat. You time it to free
Same for
Wi-Fi so
homeless
you can
people.
check job postings. You fix things with duct tape, glue, and YouTube videos. You teach yourself how to stretch everything. Soap, gas, data, patience. At night, you check tomorrow's schedule again. You set 2 alarms. You make a list, call the landlord, reschedule the appointment, watch for the pantry opening. You sleep light, but under a roof,
The
hoping nothing breaks
vigilance,
and
yeah,
that next
of
week's hours are
minding
enough.
every single last
Working poor.
thing.
You wake up before sunrise to an alarm on your phone. You rent a small apartment. The lease is month to month or a year. You share it with a partner, a kid, or a roommate to split costs. You check your bank app to see if the direct deposit hit. You make coffee at home. You pack lunch because buying food at work adds up. You commute by bus, or in an old car, you keep running. Gas and parking are planned to the dollar. You clock in a few minutes early. Your job is retail, warehouse, food service, or care work. You stand most of the shift. You move fast. You follow scripts. A manager tracks your time. Breaks are short. You say yes to extra hours when you can. At lunch, you eat what you packed. You check the schedule app to see next
If
week's
it's still
shifts.
there,
You
because
try
some
to
other
swap a
apps will
day so you
probably
can
ate it
get to a
already.
school meeting or a doctor visit. Health insurance exists, but the deductible is high, so you avoid appointments unless you must. You stretch your shoes and your back. You count the hours for overtime rules. The day runs long.
I feel like this class of people would still have Medicaid, and Medicaid doesn't usually have these copays or anything. That's the thing that's really kind of ironic. Is like, or like the problem of if you have enough money to be paying for your own health insurance, it'll be hundreds of dollars a month plus these copays and everything and the deductible that you have to meet. But if you would just like scale it back and just not, because I know this one previously, like for 2 years, I just drove rideshare, right? So it was like I'm completely in control of how much money I'm making. And if I wanted to just stay on Medicaid instead of making that money that would then just have to go, I don't really have any medical bills. Don't, I don't get sick or anything that often. But anyway, but like it would be easier knowing that, right? Because I even remember shopping in the health insurance marketplace. It straight up told me like the cheapest that I could get was like $250 a month with a like $6,000 deductible, and the estimated healthcare cost for me, including dental and vision for the entire year, was like $4,000. So I was like, why would I buy health insurance if I'll just save the money myself and pay out of pocket? But anyway, um, so that being said, Medicaid is definitely a much better situation to be in than paying out of pocket for your own insurance because it like immediately becomes a like burdenous expense. It's fucking crazy.
If daycare or pickup is covered, you stay late. If not, you leave on time and hope it doesn't cost you hours later. On the way home, you stop for groceries on sale. You use a loyalty card and coupons. You pay one bill online and push another to next week. You move $20 to savings, then pull it back when the tire hisses. At home, you cook a simple dinner. You throw a load of laundry in and set uniforms to dry. You open mail, a utility bill, a small credit card balance, a rent notice. You text about a weekend side gig. You watch a show on a shared
Who's
plan.
been doing
You start an
this?
online course for a certification and make it 10 minutes before your eyes close. You set 2 alarms, lay out tomorrow's clothes, and sleep 6 hours. In the morning, you'll check your balance, pack lunch, and do it again. Lower middle class. You wake up to an alarm in a
They're
small
really
2-bedroom
splitting
apartment
hairs out
or
there.
a modest starter home. The place is clean but simple. You keep a running list on the fridge of bills and due dates. Coffee brews while you check your calendar. You have a steady job with set hours. Pay comes every other Friday. Health insurance and a small 401k match come out of each check. You budget in an app and auto pay the essentials. Breakfast is quick: eggs, toast, fruit. If you have kids, you pack lunches and check homework. If not, you pack your own lunch to avoid the $12 cafeteria meal. You drive a reliable used car with a loan, or you take a commuter train with a monthly pass. Gas, insurance, and maintenance are planned expenses. You keep jumper cables and a tire gauge in the trunk. At work, your role is clear. You answer emails, manage orders, handle customers.
That's just good for anybody. And that's like, okay, a tire gauge, and even like the inflator and stuff like that. Like this stuff is so cheap. Like, why wouldn't you just have that in your vehicle anyway? And some, like I said, they're really splitting hairs in this video because a lot of this stuff would have applied for the previous level as well. So like they're just inventing things to be able to have all these different categories. Anyway, who cares?
Or run reports. You stand or sit most of the day. You get a paid break and a lunch window. You know your schedule weeks ahead. You track your PTO and save a few hours for emergencies. You contribute a small percent to retirement and try not to touch your growing emergency fund. During lunch, you check your bank app. A utility bill posted. The student loan draft hits tomorrow. You move a little money into savings and leave a buffer for gas and groceries. You price shop between stores, buy some items in bulk, and use reward points. You replace things when they wear out, not when you want to. After work, you stop at the gym on a low-cost plan or walk the neighborhood. Dinner is cooked at home most nights. Streaming is your main entertainment. You keep 1 or 2 subscriptions and rotate
What?
them. You plan one short
Oh,
road
fair
trip a
enough,
year
fair
and
enough.
set aside cash for it.
I thought they meant like them Twitch streaming or something. I was like, wait, what?
At night, you set out tomorrow's clothes, plug in your phone, and check the calendar again. You feel organized, you sleep with a list for the next day, and a small cushion
What?
in the bank. Middle class. You wake up in a 3-bedroom house or a nice apartment you plan to stay in. You have a mortgage or a stable lease. The heater, AC, and appliances work. You set the coffee to brew on a timer. Your phone charges on a nightstand you bought new, not secondhand. You check a shared calendar. Paydays are steady. Bills are on autopay. You keep an emergency fund and contribute to retirement every paycheck. Breakfast is simple but fresh. You have choices in the fridge. If you have kids, you sign a form, pack lunches, and remind them about practice. If not, you make your own lunch or plan to buy one without stress. You drive a late model car under warranty or take a reliable train. Insurance, maintenance, and gas are routine. You pay your credit cards in full each month and collect points. At work, you have a defined role with some control over your day. You join meetings, answer messages, and work on projects that span weeks. You have paid time off and know when you'll take it. Health insurance and
I do like that they're including in here that the sorts of jobs that you're doing are also just more comfortable. That it's like that this the halo effect kind of a situation of like that the perceived ability to be responsible at your job kind of bleeds over into your ability to be responsible at home, and and vice versa, and everything starts to kind of just tie together. Whereas it's like if you were actually like if you were one of the homeless people that were getting the day laboring jobs, like let's say like you go on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something, and somebody's like, I'll pay $20 an hour for someone to come help me clean out my garage from 10 to 4. They would basically just be breathing down your neck while you were cleaning their garage, right? It's like this the perception, wouldn't be like, hey, if we both actually just clean my garage, it will take only 2.5 to 3 hours, and I can feel like I can like trust you to like not be randomly stealing my tchotchkes. You see what I mean? Like, I hope we're like, where I'm going with this.
401k match are normal. You put 10 to 15% toward retirement, maybe more when there's a bonus. You also send money to a 529 or other savings goal. At lunch, you skim your bank app. A big expense posted, but the budget absorbed it. You adjust a sinking fund for home repairs, car tires, or braces. You compare quotes before you buy. You plan for holidays and travel months ahead. After work, you stop at a gym you actually use or join a pickup game. Dinner is cooked at home most nights, with takeout once or twice a week. You schedule a plumber instead of trying to fix a hidden leak yourself. You book regular checkups and handle dental work before it hurts. In the evening, you help with homework, watch a show, or read. You order a birthday gift without checking your balance. You review tomorrow's tasks, set the coffee again, and sleep in a calm, tidy room. You feel stable, with margin for surprises. Upper middle class.
Definitely
You
around how
wake
I
up in
grew
a
up.
quiet house you own
Solidly
in a
middle
good school
class.
district. The thermostat set itself overnight. A robot vacuum hums in the hall. Your coffee maker starts on a schedule. You glance at your phone, work calendar, kids' activities, a reminder that the cleaner comes Friday. Most bills are auto-paid. Money moves each month into savings and investments without you touching it. Breakfast is fresh fruit, eggs, maybe yogurt cups set out for the kids. You drive a late model car that's paid
What
off or close.
differences would
Your
make
partner drives
like
something similar. Insurance, taxes,
I mean, I get the whole idea of like if you're poor that maybe all you can afford is like the toast but no avocado, but they're kind of leaning a little bit heavy, but I mean, yes and no, like a little bit heavy on the some of this unnecessarily mentioned quality of life stuff. I guess it'll probably matter in a minute, but like I feel like that was really weird and unnecessary.
and maintenance are expected costs. You keep a healthy emergency fund. You also put money into retirement in a regular investment account. Some of your pay comes as company stock that vests a few times a year, and you plan around those dates. Work is a professional role with responsibility. You lead a team, manage clients, write code, treat patients, or
Get a 3.75 APY with Robinhood Gold, which is much higher than the national average.
Here's one habit that makes you extremely intelligent. Replace social media with micro-learning.
handle complex projects. You have control over your schedule on most days. You may work from home twice a week. Health insurance is strong. You go to regular checkups and don't delay dental work. If you need a specialist, you book it. At lunch, you skim your budget app. A big annual bill posted, but the sinking fund covered it. College savings drafts tomorrow, you let it run. You book flights for a week-long trip months ahead and use points for one ticket. If something breaks at home, you call a pro. You value time, so you pay for lawn care and a monthly cleaner. After work, you stop at a gym with a trainer or you take a class. Dinner is often cooked at home with quality ingredients, but takeout is fine on busy nights. Kids have lessons or sports, you can afford the fees and gear. In the evening, you review tomorrow's agenda, sign a school form, and order a gift online without checking your balance. You donate to a cause you care about. You feel secure and future-focused, building wealth while living comfortably today. Comfortable rich millionaire.
Yeah, so now I guess we're going to start transitioning into where things start becoming a problem for your safety and security again, which I've always thought was like super ironic. But yeah, so you're going to start getting to the like, you can't go to the grocery store because like maybe like you're a celebrity that's recognizable. So it's like kind of funny where it's like, hey, like if you were homeless, you wouldn't be able to go because they wouldn't want you inside. And now when you're like rich and famous, you can't go because everyone inside would prevent you from being able to accomplish what you went there for. Or like having to have security teams or being afraid that you're going to get like sniped standing in the checkout line and like these sorts of things, or just being mobbed by people who recognize you, or having to worry about securing your house and just your property and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to point that out that like people by and large aren't necessarily oblivious to these things, but I still think that it's kind of funny like with this video. I wonder the extent that they actually researched a lot of this to get their shit together, because like I said, I feel like this video is really splitting hairs in order to make categories and then mentioning things that are not necessarily exclusive to those categories.
You wake up in a quiet home you own in a safe, high-demand neighborhood. The mortgage is manageable or nearly paid off. You have space, a home office, a guest room, a yard, the thermostat, lights, and security run on schedules. Your coffee machine starts itself. A house cleaner comes every week or two.
Like that, because like I've had a $10 Mr. Coffee maker with the capability of setting it to start itself. I don't know why they keep mentioning it. It's weird.
Lawn care is on a service plan. You buy time when you can. Your net worth is in the low millions. It sits in your home equity, retirement accounts, a taxable investment account, and maybe a rental or small business. You keep a large emergency fund. You carry strong insurance, including an umbrella policy. A CPA handles taxes. You use a financial advisor or follow a plan you understand. Money moves automatically to investments every month. You drive a late model luxury or near luxury car, paid off or on a low rate loan. Your partner drives something similar. Repairs and new tires are routine, not a crisis. If your phone breaks, you replace it the same day. You buy quality and expect it to last. Work is senior level. You run a team, a practice, or your own company. Your calendar has meetings you control. You can take a true vacation and your income continues. You say no to work that doesn't fit. Healthcare is proactive. Regular checkups, specialists when needed, no delay for cost. During the day, you approve a home repair without shopping every quote.
So, like some of these things, once you got to a certain level of wealth where that became the norm for them, it doesn't need to keep being re-mentioned. It's like I don't think you're like, oh man, I'm a millionaire now. I'm just going to stop going to the doctor for my checkups entirely. I mean, whatever. But also, yes. Oh, so it's making me think of there's this checklist. It's like you can find it online. It's you can just Google it. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But basically, it's like a checklist of like common abilities, skills, or like necessary knowledge to operate in the different like socioeconomic levels. But basically, it's only like extreme poverty, middle class, and wealthy. And there's things like I remember like on the poverty checklist, it's things like you use scissors like a knife, or like ability to pack up everything you own and move in 24 hours, and things like that. And then like I said, when you get up to like the middle class, it's like your kids can afford to play soccer, and then you get to wealthy, it's like you need a security team and you know how to manage your own hedge fund or whatever the heck. But anyway, so I'm like, I wish that they were a little bit more, and this is just obviously nitpicking about some random YouTube video, but if they would have kept that a little bit more streamlined, right? I think, like I said, every time you hit one of these levels, it's going to just kind of stay that way, but whatever.
You book flights for a 2-week trip months ahead and pick solid seats. You donate to a school fundraiser and a cause you care about. If you have kids, you can afford activities, tutors, and maybe private school. If not, you fund hobbies, classes, and a gym you actually use. At night, you review investments, sign a document your accountant sent, and order a gift without checking your balance. You plan a home upgrade and a trip abroad next year. You feel set for today and on track for the future. Ultra rich, $100 million plus. You wake up in your primary home, a penthouse, or an estate with staff who arrive before sunrise. The room is quiet, shades open on a schedule. Your phone shows a short brief from your chief of staff. Today's meetings, a travel window, a note about a donation, and a summary of markets. Your trainer meets you in a private gym. Breakfast is prepared by a chef. Security plans the route if you leave the property. Your money sits across public stocks, private companies, real estate, and cash. A family office, a small team that manages your money and life, runs the plan. You review a one-page dashboard, net worth, cash on hand, new deals, risks. Your general counsel flags legal errors. Your tax team has filings ready.
This is the part that gets weird to me, where it's like your personal life requires a staff. So the whole idea of like that, even just being you is like a job in and of itself. And the funny thing is, like, 'cause like I've been experiencing cyclical homelessness since I moved to Hawaii like 14 years ago, and at one point there was a guy at the shelter, and he's like, I wish people would understand that like being homeless is just a job in and of itself. Like by the time you have to like run around and like walk everywhere because you can't afford to take the bus, or like go and do this and like try to find work or scrounging, like I said, like collecting cans. Like it would take you all day to collect enough cans to just have $10 so you could eat that night somewhere that's open long enough to like have access to a bathroom till at least midnight, and like these sorts of things where it's like this problem of like your own life is a job in and of itself is like really weird, and it grates upon you and is part of the exhaustion and the problem for homeless people in a way that's different but also oddly similar for people who are extremely wealthy, and that is like this sweet spot of like being upper middle class is like seems to be what everybody should be trying to shoot for as far as like some kind of balance in the world. But what the fuck do I know? I'm a broke bitch that sleeps at a bus.
Approve and move on. You ride to your office or join a call from a quiet room at home. You meet founders, CEOs, bankers, or partners. You decide on big moves. Buy a company, sell a stake, fund a new round, or walk away. You don't chase small wins. You focus on a few decisions that move billions. Your assistant clears smaller tasks. Your publicist screens interviews and coordinates statements. Travel is flexible. If you fly today, a jet is wheels up on your schedule. You land close to the meeting and return the same day. Hotels greet you by name. Check-in takes minutes. You give money with intent. A foundation or donor-advised fund supports causes you name. You join a board, fund a lab, or build a program at a school. You check impact reports, not receipts. At home, repairs and projects move without you. The house manager handles it. Family plans are set on a shared calendar. You can attend a game, a recital, or host dinner with short notice. At night, you get a final update from the family office. Cash levels are fine, deals are moving, security confirms tomorrow's route. You choose your morning location and sleep knowing your time is protected and your options are wide. Billionaire. You wake up in one of several homes. Staff are already moving. Shades open. The room is quiet. Your chief of staff sends a short morning brief. Markets overnight, key headlines, today's meetings, travel options, and any issues that need your decision. Security reviews the plan for the day. Your trainer meets you in a private gym. Breakfast is simple and on time. The jet crew is on standby in case plans change. Most of your net worth sits in companies you own or lead. The rest is in public stocks, private deals, real estate, and cash. A family office runs the machine: investments, taxes, legal, insurance, travel, property, staff. You meet with your investment lead to review one-page dashboards. Big numbers move with a few choices: buy more, sell some, fund a new idea, or pass. Your work is picking the right problems. You meet a founder at 9, a head of state at 11, and your own CEO at 2. You ask short, direct questions and look for the part that matters. You make 2 or 3 major calls a day and delegate the rest. Your name moves prices, so your team manages announcements and timing. Lawyers check filings. PR shapes the message. Compliance boxes are checked
So you barely do anything except try to stay alive. Sounds fucking familiar to me.
before you press send. Travel is flexible. If you fly, the jet leaves on your schedule. If you stay, people come to you. Lunch is a short meeting. Calls fill the gaps. You get quick notes from your foundation on a hospital wing, a research grant, or a relief fund you support. You give at scale and track outcomes, not receipts. Late afternoon is family or personal time. You can show up at a game, a recital, or dinner with almost no notice. The house manager keeps life smooth. A private doctor handles care and screenings. At night, you get a final update. Markets are stable or not, your plan adjusts either way. The calendar for tomorrow is set. Security confirms routes. The jet is ready if needed. You turn off the light with time, attention, and options under your control.
Yeah, I feel like that was just really redundant to the level before it. And then also on the other side of the scale, it's like the homeless could have just been combined with whatever, what was it that they called it, the ultra poverty or whatever. The thing that gets me, that I think about a lot when it comes to this, is there's this juxtaposition too of like the this is going to sound so ridiculous, but like the almost eerie comfort that would come with just being in prison long term. Like you have a roof over your head, an assigned place to be, someone assigned to you a job to do, friends and family can come visit you, you can work out in the yard. Um, you got, your 3 square meals a day, but you have to worry about being shanked in the shower. So there's like this weird, like, I feel like diametrically opposed, but also like oddly similar to upper middle class is just being in prison. Because I've always felt like the thing that's funny about the homelessness is that like I have the freedom to do whatever I want, go wherever I see, where for the most part within reason, whatever, but just no resources to actually do it with. But then on the other side of the coin, you can have all of these resources, and basically it's just a bunch of other people living your life for you while you just like try to continue sucking oxygen so you can answer questions. Like you're one of the clairvoyant oracles in Minority Report. I mean, at some point it's like, what is the point in either of the extremes? The sweet spot is upper middle class, which is ending up in prison. Fuck it.